Okay, Bill here. Let's see, it's Tuesday, June 19. Mom's at the dentist. I'm waiting for her to get done with the dentist and shopping. I thought I'd show you guys some of my tools, humble tools. Start over here with, this is a level that Dad bought at Sears back in the 60s or 70s. It was $5. It's still working. Got a ruler here from my fine art school days, theater design. I had two of those. Use it for cutting those 2 foot by 2 foot squares of drywall from Home Depot. Got a variety of paint knives and putty knives. Very old steel. And got one of these 3-in-1 or 7-in-1 tools. Got my the yellow triangle there is a roofer's square. I use it for a variety of cutting for both drywall and using it as a guide with my circular saw to cut wood. My old hammer from my college days, still working. Got some speed bores that I bought for this project. Here are the handy shims which I talked about. This is the plastic handy shim, half of one, and you can break this even farther into thirds. It's a 1/4 inch. The whites are an 1/8 inch. Reds are 1/16, greens are a 32nd. Highly recommended. I can't say enough for them. The reason why I started this video today, I thought I was going to just focus in on one thing. Let me save that for the end. Got my Dremel tool. The fine company I've learned created this tool, created these types of tools. Patent ran out a couple years ago, and now there's like 10 competitors on the market. So I didn't know that. I just saw this Dremel tool and thought, wow, this is what I've been waiting for. So I got it. Never regretted it. I got it for one project actually. It was a project in this room. Did it, and then I realized that there's so many other things to do. Flush cuts, you can use it instead of a chisel. It saves you so much time. The blades are really expensive though, and they dull very quickly. That's a common complaint. Sell the tool cheap, and then the refills are, like a gelatinous razor. The blades are where they make the money. So, in here is a Craftsman 1/2 inch drill I picked up via eBay from a pawn shop in Maryland. Got it for about $55. It's working great. This is great. This is my 3M respirator. I'm already on a second set of cartridges. And if you look in there, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of gummed up. If you're having trouble breathing, it's time to get new cartridges. Some contractors 25 years ago left this behind in the house. Really good inch wide tape. Here's a very favorite tool of mine. It's the Craftsman right angle impact driver. The battery's up being charged right now, but I use this almost every day when on this project. Driving drywall screws in and out saves you a lot of wrist action. But here's the star of the show today. The budget allowed for me to finally step up to the pro level of foam. Instead of using these cans of foam over here, which are really one-shot deals. Once you start, you really have to use the whole thing up. They don't store very well. This Hilti brand has a way of closing off the nozzle, the plastic straw, so you can reuse it, but it dries up within a day or two. All the others are useless, like the Great Stuff. But this is the pro level Great Stuff Pro here. And this is the Pro 15 applicator. This is their top of the line applicator. It's got a knob in the back here to adjust the flow, the bead, the size of the bead, and it's awesome. It's all Teflon inside, so when you release the trigger, the foam's inside, it can't dry. So you can have it like this for up to 30 days without cleaning. If you're going to store it for a long time, you unscrew this guy, and I haven't done it yet, but you use the yellow can here of the cleaner. I don't know what kind of chemicals in there. Gasoline works really well on melting this stuff when it's wet. It's how you clean your hands. If you look at my hands, I've got this brown spots all over because I get the dust and grime from working on the carpentry and the plaster lath, and then you do the spray foam and it all gets embedded in your skin, and this nice brown or battleship gray kind of crud, which takes 3 or 4 days to ooze off flake off your your skin. But here's the, I haven't used this yet. This is the Great Stuff cleaner. It's the yellow can. You hook it up and shoot the cleaner through, and it'll melt all the foam and get it out of there. So yeah, but this was the top of line model, and I'm kind of embarrassed how expensive it was. God, they rip you off. But when I first used it just like an hour ago, I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. You can get down to tiny, tiny little beads. Let me show you what this does. The Great Stuff foam, this is the, they only sell 2 types of foam for this gun, or for the Pro Series. There's 2 other types of guns. This was the most expensive, and there's the middle expense, and then the cheapest one. This one has got all the bells and whistles. The Pro is, expands it expands twice when it comes out of the can. And it's also the fire resistant one, has the orange dye in it and has chemicals that make it fire resistant. So this is basically for the Pro Series, this is the max expanding foam. There is no max expanding foam, it's just the expanding foam, and then there's the blue can, which is the door and window, which is the minimally expander. That's the only 2 they sell for the Pro Series. So, you know, get used to orange. It's like pumpkin orange. And then of course you got the cleaner. So I bought, these cans are like $9 a piece. They're not cheap. So, but they go, you know, they're bigger. So here's what I did over here. Here I've been foaming this cavity. And what I did was all the white foam, that's the Hilti foam and the red cans you get at Home Depot for like $7 a can. What I did is I used these plywood forms here. This one is like a 9-inch tall one, and I coated on this one right here, I coated lightly the inside with Vaseline, because the foam, this kind of foam just doesn't stick to the Vaseline. I didn't coat this one really well enough. I was very sparingly on the Vaseline, so foam stuck to most of these. There's some forms in that I threw away that were really Vaseline that they didn't stick. Problem was my patience. I filled this cavity and I took off the foam in the middle of the cavity. Didn't dry very quickly, and I took the forms off last night, and they dried, but they also expanded. Like they expanded here. They expanded here. Actually, I think this this rectangle here kind of came away with the foam. So I filled it. Every time you see the orange foam, that's me this morning or this afternoon working the new Pro nozzle. And it's really nice because you can. But let me show you. This is like this. I took these 2 right here. These 2 forms were really Vaseline really well, and as they really came off without taking any of the foam with it. Problem was I took them off too early, and overnight they bulged right here. So what I did was, I've been cutting away and then filling it with orange. But here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a thin bead of orange in there. That's along the edge. You can adjust it down to up in there. Right in there I used micro bead. I mean, the bead was so small, it was like the size, it's like a 1/16 of an inch bead coming out of the nozzle. It was so fine. Turning that screw on the back of the gun to bring it really down low. But instead of using the form for here, I've just been spraying orange and adding dries quick and fireproof. So it both insulates and fireproof, so it's 2 in 1. So that's why the cans are more expensive. But it's Dow doesn't want to make minimally expanding, normal expanding, or normal expanding with the fire rating of the orange here, and then a maxi without the orange. So they just have the minimal and the maximum, or they're regular, not maximum. Got to fill in more down here, but getting a saw on, like, I have to hold up the drywall pieces and keep fitting, and then keep trimming and trying. Oh, it's going to be a pain. The professionals, they have that big gun with the truck, with the supply in the truck out in the driveway. And they spray the cavities and they fill out, and then they got a guy come in with a sawzall with a long blade, and they just cut the entire stud, trim it flush instead of foam. I don't have that, so I got to do this, and it takes several days. I got the I don't know if you saw this earlier. I got the I got the drywall in down here for the rail for the foot molding, or the baseboard molding. Got the outlet there. It's plaster's dry. Got to add some more joint compound really. And so if I can get at least this cavity here flush and ready to go, then I can put a piece of drywall here, then do joint compound, do the tape and the joint compound. And when that's done, then what I can do is I can do the molding here. Yesterday I also took all the moldings. I took this molding outside and stripped it with the torch and then sanded it. And I took the steps, the risers for the steps. I stripped and sanded, and there's a wood board that goes, a piece of molding that goes right there under the saddle here, or whatever you call it. Stripped that too, and some of the quarter round bead moldings, quarter round moldings, and the cove moldings. And but I gotta, basically what I gotta do is this used to be one piece of wood all the way. It was like a 12-footer. And over the years, what I did was I cut it here. I cut it here first once, and then I cut it over there again for this particular project at the beginning for the power lines and the power line and the PEX. I cut it over there. Then I removed it, broke the seal over here where I just glued it together and used latex caulk. And then I removed the stairs finally when I wanted to do this outlet wiring. So I removed the step, and then I just took the whole thing off. So basically what I'm going to do is probably use the original from here to about here, cut it back, and then I have wood downstairs I'm going to cut to fit and put in a new baseboard here, so it's a continuous piece. So that's the report right now. I'm doing a few things, not getting too engaged because Mother's going to call. She'll be done with the dentist, and she'll have her shopping done. So hop in the car, go down there and pick her up. She can't use her car because the inspection has expired and she already got a $40 ticket. She doesn't want to get an even bigger ticket, so we got to get it over to be inspected, so I'm acting as her chauffeur. Well, that's it. Definitely, for any of you watching, if you ever do this, definitely go heavy on the Vaseline on the inside edge of these forms, and it will not stick. But I'm just too damn impatient. I should have let this I should have just let it dry for like at least maybe 48 hours, and then all the foam on the inside, from the front to back and left to right in the middle there, right closer into the middle, and then it takes the longest to dry. I guess it's like cement, and then as the exterior, it dries from the exterior in basically. So that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.